I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
All right, here we go. It is the Daily Punch on Wednesday, May 14th. Boy, do we've got a busy show for you today. Jim Moore, the go-to guy, is back here. We'll get to him in just a minute. We'll get an update on Neighborgate. Has he continued to piss off the neighbors in Bend, Oregon? We'll touch on the Mariners last night. Huge win there in 11 innings and terrific pitching performance from Bryan Woo. Travis Fulton is back from TravisFultonGolf.com, also host of the Stripe Show podcast. He's going to join us in about 10 minutes. Former golf instructor at the Golf Channel. Grew up here, now lives in beautiful Florida. And he will preview the PGA Championship as he does every Wednesday before the majors. Brought to you by our good friends at Synthetic Turf Northwest. Get rid of that muddy backyard. Stop spending all your money on water and get a synthetic turf lawn from syntheticturfnorthwest.com and put in a 3-hole putting green. Work on your game during the winter. They'll do it all there at Synthetic Turf Northwest. Ryan Divish will join us coming up around 10:35 or so. It's a shortened show today because I need to be out here by 11 o'clock because it is the Sweet 16 birthday for the daughter today, so we're surprising her among many things. It's like a 3-week-long celebration, for God's sakes. We're taking her out of school today to go take her to the Mariners game because she loves herself some Mariners. All right. Joining us from Bend, Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, your favorite neighbor. It is Jim Moore, all brought to you by...
Hey, Puck, today and for the past 6 months, I've been brought to you by a clean streak, Brian Turner with his crew, professional window and exterior cleaning service, proudly serving Island and Skagit counties for more than 10 years. You got to check them out. They'll unclog your gutters. They'll clean your roof. They'll pressure wash your driveway or patio. And they'll even wash your windows too. And you can talk to your neighbors about them. And you know what? He'll go and help out the neighbors, even if they're jerks like my neighbors. Brian Turner will do it all. And between now and the end of May, I'm going to give you $50 if you hire Brian Turner to do a job for you. For a free estimate, call 360-395-5748 or visit acleanstreak.com.
Okay. I love it. All right. What do we got? Travis Fulton's going to join us at around 10:10 or so. Last time you were not here for the Masters preview. You're going to love Travis's background. You're just going to love, like when you see his studio, you're going to have your studio envy, backdrop envy when you see them. All right. M's last night. Bryan Woo was great. But there is some breaking news that just came down 5 minutes ago. Perfect timing because we always record in the morning with Ryan Divish. And so we missed this part, and we talked about it. So it sucks. But whatever. Bryce Miller placed on the IL, 15-day IL. We've talked about this, I don't know, for weeks. This was inevitable. It was going to happen. He hasn't been right since the very first start. He's obviously was dealing with something. Probably was not admitting to the coaching staff that he was hurt. He finally probably has admitted that he's hurt. 15-day IL, and it's another blow to this rotation that has been so solid the last few years, but now you've got the third starter now landing on the IL for the M's.
Yeah, Puck, I mean, I just listened to that postgame show when he was talking about his last outing, and you could tell that a guy was just defeated. It's not just the physical part of it, but the mental part of it. He's lost his confidence, mechanical issues too, and so, yeah, I mean, I think you saw this coming a month ago, and then as it kept going, each start struggling to get through 5 innings, and it's 3 starters out now. I don't know what they do now. I don't know if they're going to go to a bullpen type game for a starter.
Well, Jonathan Diaz was recalled.
Oh, they brought Diaz up.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So now you're what? You're throwing your 8th best starter out there.
Well, Diaz, yeah, because he was 2-3 with a 5.87 ERA down there in Tacoma. So right now you've got a rotation that it's got Jonathan Diaz, Logan Evans, and Emerson Hancock. I mean, it's rough, but this is, what some of the problems have always been with this team. And again, I'm not doing doomsday right now. I'm just saying it's hard to repeat this year after year with these starters. It's just too hard. They've been lucky. They've been, and everyone, they would admit this. They've been extremely lucky that they've had all these guys taking their turn every 5 days. And it just, at some point, you just can't rely on that every year because that's baseball. It just doesn't work that way. And so
not only taking their turn every 5 days, but being as good as they were.
Dominant. Yeah, dominant. And they're facing something that most teams all face. And this is what led everyone to say in the offseason, hey, you just can't bank on them taking a start every 5th day and being great again. So you improve the offense, improve other areas. Now, listen, the offense has not been a problem this year. But again, I don't think it gives them a free pass to sit there and say that they didn't do enough in the offseason. This is why you can always add good players to your team. You can never have enough good players. So hopefully they get through this. Now, the bright side of it is that Kirby will make his final rehab start this Friday in Albuquerque. Then he's back. And all indications are that Logan Gilbert is tracking great, threw a bullpen yesterday, 25 pitches at 90%, through everything, through the whole arsenal. And look good. So, again, it's not doomsday because those two are on the horizon of coming back.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Yeah, those reports yesterday were good about Kirby. And then Kirby will be what? Back in like a week and a half.
Yep.
Gilbert maybe the middle of June, just guessing on that. But it seemed like they really escaped the doomsday scenario you're talking about, at least injury-wise. Because, I mean, typically you hear when a guy goes down, you're going, yeah, they start out 15 days, and then it turns into a month, then 2 months, and then, oh, God, season ending. So that's not the case with the Mariners. But, boy, in the meantime, it can be some rough sledding out there. You're going to have to win some 7-6 games, and hopefully that offense will keep going.
The best thing last night, Matt Brash's at bat, when he faced Aaron Judge, 3 straight pitches, all sliders striking him out. God, that was great. That was just that's what you sign up for. Big playoff. That was a playoff game last night. That's what that game was so entertaining to watch because there was so much playoff vibe and atmosphere to it. All right, let's not bury the lead. Okay, you wrote about it at Jim Moore, the go-to guy, Substack.com. I can't wait for your neighbors to. Oh my God, we have a journalist that's living next to us now. Have you heard? Is there more information on NeighborGate?
Okay, how can this be more interesting than what the Mariners did last night?
No, because it is. So for people who don't know, Jim has been illegally parking in front of his house. There's clearly a sign that says don't park there. A neighbor has written not 1 but 2 letters. And in the second letter that this person typed up, did not give their name, by the way, said, you're the worst additions to the neighborhood we've ever had. And we wish that you not moved here. Okay.
Yeah.
So have we walked around the neighborhood with the letter asking anyone yet?
No,
Okay.
Because I don't want to be that guy. And what am I going to do? Like if I find out who the guy is,
fucking sheep. Goddamn sheep.
That sounded more like a cow than a sheep. Yeah, there you go. No, I am a sheep, and the reason I'm a sheep is because I'm wrong. I'm wrong on both things. Okay, the number one thing, I can see the sign right now, and it says don't park on this side of the street. I violated that, so I was wrong. Number 2, my dogs were barking. I wasn't aware of that. Honestly, I've never had this issue before. And so the guy talked about that your dogs bark all the time. Well, they don't, but we ordered bark collars now. So we're taking care of that. I don't want to be, and to the people who said that I'm a dick, I admitted in the Substack post that I'm a dick. On pucksports.com, the podcast, I'm admitting I'm a dick. I just didn't like the way the guy went about it. I thought he should have knocked on my door and we talk about it instead of putting something on my kid's windshield and calling me an asshole and everything else. So I just think we're both dicks, and I'm trying to be a little less dickish by making these moves. And I don't know if this guy is going to be okay with that. I'm also thinking about, we live on this loop, and I'm thinking about inviting everyone over for a party. And just to say, hey, I'm not the dick this other dick thinks I am.
I can't wait till you do this and you sit out there in your lawn chair and no one comes to your birthday party.
Well, that's fine. In fact, I hope no one comes because I'm that Seattle guy that really doesn't want to invite anybody over.
The guy that says dogs should roam and live free, and I'm the best dog owner in the world, and no dog ever wants to be on a leash. Now you're putting a goddamn shock collar on him.
No, it's a high-pitched sound, I think.
Yeah, that's not fun for them.
Well, Kathy, I don't want to do it, but I want to close the doors and keep the dogs inside. I think when we left the door open, they were going to the backyard, and that's where they were barking at kids in the park. And so I don't know, Puck. I don't go out of my way to be a dick. I don't want to be a dick. There's enough dicks in the world, and I don't want to be one.
Okay. You know who's not a dick is our next guest. But boy, he could be with this backdrop. Ladies and gentlemen, every Wednesday before the majors, we invite our next guest on because he's an expert. Travis Fulton. He's a golf instructor, former golf instructor, and now analyst for the Golf Channel. He now hosts the Stripe Show podcast, golf instructor at the Travis Fulton Golf Studio. Visit TravisFultonGolf.com. His YouTube show, Travis Fulton Golf. He joins us every Wednesday before a major. It's all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Visit SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. Tired of that muddy backyard? The cost of watering your lawn. Yeah, we're all tired of it. Don't want it. Don't want your dogs tracking it all in. Synthetic Turf Northwest, pet friendly, by the way. Does not have any high-pitched sound on that lawn. They do synthetic turf lawn installation, custom turf installation, and with golf here, they'll do a custom green. Ladies and gentlemen, look at him. Travis Fulton from beautiful state of Florida. He's a Northwest native. He's glad he got out of the rain. Look at that backdrop, Jim Moore. Is that not the best basement you have ever seen in your life, sir?
It beats the hell out of my backdrop. Travis, I'm excited to be talking to you today.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're doing great, Travis. We're doing wonderful. Travis is here. We're going to preview the PGA Championship. We'll get his picks. He is an avid Mariners fan. He texts me nightly, even when it's late there. It's 3 hours ahead, and he's always he's bitching and moaning about the M's nonstop today, all the time. So he's going to go like a 1 through 9 kind of batting order for the PGA Championship, which is at Quail Hollow. Of course, Synthetic Turf Northwest brings you Travis Fulton every single week. All right, where do you want to start? Let's start here with Rory, Travis, because he had some monkey off the back. He wins the Masters, so boom, he's completed it. Now comes another pressure because what is in front of him right now is something that's never been done, to complete the Slam in the same season. In all 4 majors at once in the same season. And these courses are ideal for him. He has played probably no better golf than at Quail Hollow. This is where he won his first event. He is something, what is he like? He's 55 shots better on this course than anyone else in this field. So tell me and tell us how this lines up perfectly for Rory this week.
Well, I mean, this golf course is probably Rory's favorite golf course. Certainly in the United States. He's won, 4 times there? Now, I know that was for the Wells Fargo, and this is the PGA Championship. And in talking to some people on site, I mean, there's maybe a couple things that are a little bit different. But I think for all intents and purposes, this golf course it's Quail Hollow. I don't know how much different they can make it. Now, I think for the U.S. Open, and when you look at U.S. Open courses and what they can do to Pebble Beach and others, they can make it play very different. But I think this course is going to play right into Rory's hands. He loves the sight lines. He feels comfortable out there. The people of Charlotte love Rory. Mm-hmm. I think he comes into this, Puck. I don't think he's thinking about the Grand Slam for 2025. I think there's pressure that has been lifted. Mm-hmm. I think Rory comes in and plays very free golf. And I wouldn't be surprised if, obviously, if he wins this thing. He's the favorite right now going in. And how about that? Rory McIlroy, if he won the first 2 major championships, then maybe after that, then the pressure would start to mount a little bit.
Okay, to put it in horse racing terms, would you box an exacta with Rory and Scotty and just call it good this week?
I mean, you certainly could. I mean, it'd be tough to leave Bryson out. I guess the only negative here coming into the PGA, it really does feel like there's only 6 to 7 guys that can win this thing. I mean, this is going to be a big golf course. I mean, it's 7,600 on the card, but guys, we've had a lot of rain here. The rain that they've had in Charlotte, it started here. It came up from the Gulf, went right through here. We got a ton of rain here in Ponte Vedra, and it's just worked right up the coast into Charlotte. And so it's going to play long. I mean, you got to have a lot of speed. You got to be able to carry it, long irons into these greens. It's 6 or 7 guys, but exacta box, yeah. I mean, how can you go wrong with Scotty and Rory, but I think Bryson's got to be in there. So let's try box it, maybe bump it down, a little bit, and let's go ahead and put 3 in there.
Who do you think is motivated more based on what happened at the Masters and watching Rory win? Is it Scheffler or is it Bryson?
Boy, that's a really good question. I think Bryson's been very motivated. I think it's Scotty, honestly. I think Scotty motivated Rory. Rory's admitted that. Rory has stepped up. And I think Scotty now, and you look at the way that he's playing, and particularly putting. I think I mentioned too in the Masters, when he went into the Masters, I think he was +7 in putting at the Houston Open. And I told you, I said, look, if Scotty putts like this, no one's beating him. And you look at the last 3 or 4 events for Scotty, the guy is putting the ball as well as I've ever seen him putt. And that's a problem because he does the rest of the game like at Tiger-esque level. So I think Scotty's motivated. He doesn't have the reps at this golf course that Rory does, but I think he's coming in and he, for all intents and purposes, I think he wants Rory in the final group.
Hey, I was going to ask you something else, but I want to go to Scotty Scheffler because I watch his swing, and you're a teacher of the game and the swing and everything else. Would you teach someone Scotty Scheffler's swing? Because I look at that, and I don't know how he duplicates that every time with his footwork and his feet going all over the place. I mean, could you explain that for us?
It's Scotty. It's actually what I did the podcast on Stripe Show podcast last week was all things Scotty Scheffler. And I talked about his swing. It's definitely a unique swing in the way of his footwork, right? And it started at a young age. I took one of his swings from when he was playing in the US Junior. He was like 12 or 13 and he was doing it then. And so his coach, Randy Smith, who's been on the pod a couple times, he just kind of let it go. And that was kind of his idiosyncrasy. The other thing about Rory that's very unique, Scotty, that's unique is he's always been kind of a toe hang player, which means that he kind of points the toe straight down at the top. He gets the face open. And so when the face is open, then, he's obviously gradually closing it. But players that do that, they can hit it way up into the stratosphere. I mean, Scotty can hit some beautiful long irons and Rory kind of does the same thing, but that's not a method that's really been taught. The method that you see primarily, Jim, is more of a shut face player. You see players get a little more bowed like Victor Hovland, and then they rotate, they have more shaft lean. Scotty kind of a little more gets the face open, not as much shaft lean. And he's got his feet going all over the place. So it's fascinating to see Scheffler's swing and how it stacks up. I would say kind of maybe in that modern day technique that's taught predominantly.
I just think to piggyback on that, it's what I like about him. It's what I like about Bryson is they're not cut from some lab.
Right.
They have their swing and it's unique to them. And I think whoever taught them early on, especially with Scheffler, to Randy Smith's point, to your point, Travis, is just let them be what they want to be and stop trying to change them and make them look like, I don't know who the Adam Scott perfect swing or whoever in your mind has got that perfect swing. It works for him. And I think this would be great for golf. We need a head-to-head rivalry. We have it kind of with Rory and Bryson. It'd be great to add a third player into that and to get those three going at the same time. You got to go in a real golden age here of golf because that's kind of what's been missing, certainly from the sport. But, God, there's other big names. Think about Justin Thomas is playing so good lately. He won back there in 2017. He seems to kind of be putting it all together right now.
Yeah, he is. Justin, you got to give him a lot of credit. He was not playing good, over a year ago. And he's dug himself out. Max Homa is trying to do the same thing right now. Max has won here. And Max is starting to play better. Justin is, we talked about this lineup earlier. Justin's like that perfect number 5 hitter, in the lineup that, he's capable of coming out and hitting a couple home runs in a game, but he's also capable of coming out and striking out 3 times. He's like one of those streaky players that you have to have because when he gets it going, he wins. He's not afraid to win, and he's won a couple PGAs. But the thing that you always have to understand with Justin is his putter gets the rap of inconsistency, and he is an inconsistent putter. But when his driver goes, it can get crooked in a hurry, and his driver can get all over the place. And I think this week, as long as it is, you're going to have to be, you need to hit it long and you need to hit it straight. And when Justin's on and he's making putts, he is a force because he is not afraid to win late on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Travis, what do you think about what he said? I saw part of his press conference. It sounds like maybe there's some criticism of the golf course because he said he doesn't really have to think too much. He just pulls out driver and just smacks it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably what the PGA doesn't want to hear. You know, I mean, well, there's a little more to this than that, isn't there, Justin? But look, you're going to have to step up to these long par fours. There's some big par fours here, and you're going to have to let the driver out. You know, I mean, that's just it is take your line, hit it as hard as you can because it's going to play long. It's wet. The sight line is what it is. And so I think it can probably be a little bit vanilla from that standpoint is probably what he was alluding to, and that there's kind of one way to go about it, and particularly on these long par fours.
We got into it. We kind of talked about you're going to do, because of your love affair with the M's, kind of a starting 9. We'll go 1 through 9, kind of with some correlation to the M's. Let's do it. Who give us? Yeah. I'll let you go. Leadoff hitter. What are we?
It's not easy, Jim. You know, being on the East Coast, watching the Mariners score 2 runs.
I can't believe you do it.
Late until 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, this is true dedication over here. I was texting Puck. I was like, here we go again. All right. So, number 1, it's got to be Scotty. I mean, the leadoff hitter. It's got to be Scotty, right? He is the man. He's the number 1 player in the world. Number 2, Puck. I'm going Xander. All right. I think it's easy to forget about Xander. He won 2 major championships.
Hey, let him finish before you. God, geez.
No. Let's part of the crowd. I'm going to boo him a little bit.
He's past his injury. And
moves the runner over.
Moves the runner over, right? And Xander can play the long ball. No one's probably gotten longer when it comes to the top 20 players in the world than Xander. It's a big reason why he won 2 majors. Okay. So I've moved Xander in there, number 2. 3 is Bryson. That speaks for itself, right? Got to have that guy right there in the middle. And then 4, no one's cleaning up better than Rory. Okay. No one's cleaning up better than Rory at Quail Hollow. Now, 5, I went JT. I kind of alluded to that earlier. Your number 5 hitter. Guy can come out, win it. Couple dingers, or he can strike out 4 times. 6, Jim, let me know what you think of this. 50-1, Victor Hovland.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take that at 6.
Victor drives me crazy. First off, I mean, he's like a nightmare for a coach because he's always tinkering, always. And he's very smart. And I know Victor a little bit. I actually played with him a couple times at the Arnold Palmer, and he's a wonderful guy. But he is a nightmare when it comes to probably coaching him. He finished 3rd PGA 2024 and 2nd 2023. Just saying, Victor, he can be a little up and down, but number 6, it feels like it feels appropriate. Number 7, my DH. I can't leave Rahm out. I know he hasn't played as well since going to live in majors, but it's like Rowdy Tellez, you know, Puck. It's like he's gonna play. Like we don't have a lot of options here, right?
Okay,
we don't have a lot of options here. You got to have the long ball. Rowdy's got it.
Okay,
but Rowdy's gonna play against right-handed pitching, and that's it. Thank God. And Rahm is a good fit for this course. So okay. I can't leave him out. So he's in there. All right. Number 8. I need some stability. I need a top 20. Right. I don't know if you play top 20s, Jim, but I'm going Fleetwood. Now, I don't think Fleetwood's going to win. He's never won on the PGA Tour. I feel like he's been out here for 30 years. He's 40-1, top 20. But God, I would love to see Tommy Fleetwood win. I mean, if there is one guy, one international player that I want to win a major more, it's Tommy Fleetwood. Okay. That guy is a gem. No weaknesses. He will be in the top 20.
I love Tommy Fleetwood, and I love him at number 8, and I love that he loves dogs. That's the first thing I found out about Tommy Fleetwood. You know, the other fun fact about him that I don't think people are aware of, he's married to someone that's 23 years older than him.
Tommy, he's a good-looking man. He's
the
charming.
Wife is 23 years older?
Yes.
It's not supposed to work that way, Tommy. It's the other way. Oh, Lord. Well, he'll be upgrading soon.
Well, she's not the PR person, right? Like
he'll be upgraded. Yeah, he'll be upgraded.
Like Jordan is for Bill. Anyway,
Yeah.
number 9. Got to take some risk. Got to turn the lineup over. Need some excitement. Golf has been on an absolute heater, both on in professional golf and amateur golf. God, how good would it be if Spieth won the career Grand Slam? You got to throw Jordan Spieth in there, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a guy that no one be surprised if he ran out there and had a chance, and no one be surprised if he missed the cut by 4. But
yeah,
Spieth rounded out.
What are his odds, Travis?
Right now, Spieth is 66-1.
Is he really? God, that
win.
seems like a good price for him.
To win, yeah. Well, you probably get it higher than that. That's I think you could probably get 70-75.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. I love the starting 9. Jim, any issues with it? You don't like Xander?
No.
You're 2-hole. Can't get the runner across.
Okay.
Can't push the runner.
Hold on, keep it there. Let me look at that. Sep, I like that.
22 different guys I bet on here.
Yeah,
who's the best? I mean, does Joe
pathetic.
Highsmith have a chance? A local angle. I mean, he's 500-1, but he won this year. I like the lefty, the long lefty. I mean, what do you think? I put $3 on him at 500-1.
We sent Joe down to Tacoma this week, so he's in AAA this week. He's not gonna win a PGA, so we had to send him down. But I'll tell you 2 names that I like on there. Okay, as you're looking, there's 3 guys, and we'll finish with this puck. So I know I'm probably running over.
You're good.
The guy that I said last week at Masters, the guy that I want to see on Live, is he real? He's won 5 times on Live. Joaquin Niemann. I want to see it. He hasn't finished in the top 20 in any major yet, but Live. That's their boy, right? Is he ready? I didn't bet him. I love Sepp Straka on there. Sepp, no surprise, 4th win last week. That guy
should have been 2 weeks ago when I picked him. Would have been nice.
That guy has improved so much. He can hit it off the tee. His long iron game, big improvement. He can get the putter going. Don't be surprised if Sepp is contending back-to-back week, and I love Min Woo. Let me tell you something. Min Woo can move it. Yeah. That guy can move it off the tee, and his short game is second to none. I'm a huge Min Woo fan. I like Sepp. I like Min Woo if he had to reach down a little bit onto the bench to maybe some long shots.
Okay. All right. Tell everyone, TravisFultonGolf.com, Stripe Show podcast. You do it all. You're a man of many, many talents, sir.
Yeah. TravisFultonGolf.com, Stripe Show podcast. Look at the back here real quick, guys. That's the first hole at Sahali, by the way, Jim. That's the first hole. That's Sahali.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to play Sahali.
Good luck, Travis.
Hey, yeah. So I'm going to play Sahali. Actually, I have a couple lessons. So I'm going to do 2 lessons. Then I'm going to play Sahali. And the Mariners play at 4:00 here today. So I'm going to turn the Mariners game on. I'll have it picture-in-picture. And I can actually get a little bit of sleep tonight.
Fuck you. What a life. What a life this guy has got. Oh, you're the back. Jim, we need to travel down there. We need to make a point to get on down there.
Yeah. Okay, now, wait a minute. Yeah. The schedule comes out tonight. NFL comes out tonight. And the Seahawks are in Jacksonville this year. So you guys can
hopefully that's not an international game.
There's 2 couches right here. You can come and sleep here. I'll get tickets to the game. Hawks, Jags. Be great.
We might have to do it.
I'm gonna look you up for a lesson. I'm gonna look you up for a lesson too.
We can do that too.
Yeah. So if people want to do virtual lessons too, we should note that, right, Travis? They
it's on the website.
You at TravisFultonGolf.com if they want virtual lessons.
Yeah, I do a lot of online lessons. People in the Northwest for sure. You can see it all there on the website. Yep. Yeah.
Thanks, Travis. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next month. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
There he is, Travis Fulton from TravisFultonGolf.com, former golf analyst there at the Golf Channel, host of the Stripe Show podcast. And again, TravisFultonGolf.com is the website. YouTube channel is Travis Fulton Golf. He joins us before every major to preview it. All brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Please go visit syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Get rid of the money backyard. Dogs tracking it in. The water bills, because summer is here. You're going to spend $1 gazillion on water with Synthetic Turf Northwest. You're not going to have to do that. You don't have to water it. It's pet friendly. They do synthetic lawn installation, custom turf installation, and with golf here, you can get a golf green installation just like me. There he is, Travis Fulton. He's the best. Look at that. I would never leave my house if that's what it looked like, ever.
Yeah, and that's his job. I mean, he's going to play Sahali. His pregame warm up for the Mariners is playing Sahali there.
and then give a couple of golf instructions. Hey, just get those hips through, huh? Well, hands high, hips through.
Yeah.
I like all of it. I like all the picks.
Travis is a really good addition, man. I mean, he's
awesome. Yeah, he's really, really good. Yeah. Who are you putting your most money on?
Well, I got 20 on. I don't know. I read something about Rahm. I don't know. I don't know why I like John Rahm. I hate guys who go to live, but
but he regrets it. He regrets Rahm, I think, or he regrets live. But
maybe I put 20 on Bryson at 12-1. I just don't like watching Bryson though. I can't stand watching him putt. He just looks so damn stiff.
He does look stiff. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. But I just, I do it all the time though, Puck. I'm always looking for long shots.
Sure.
The guy that I really like is Van Rooyen this week at 300 to 1. Now, I know a guy over in Austria that I met on a golf trip a long time ago who can't stand Van Rooyen, and I think it's because of the pants that he wears.
Oh, pants are a little tight, a little high.
Yeah, and then he wears those ones that are, strapped around the ankles, and so you
the
can
joggers.
I
like the joggers. I like the mustache. Hey, before you go, Ryan Divish is coming up next. I got to get your thoughts on this one, right? Because this is the old. I don't know what old sports radio people are going to do in late July without this debate anymore. I guess they technically have it still. The old should Pete Rose be going into the Hall of Fame? What are your thoughts? They lifted it yesterday. It doesn't mean he's going into the Hall of Fame, by the way. It's just a ban has been lifted for Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson. Now the question is, will he go into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Well, I would think he would go into the Hall of Fame if they lifted that ban. And, it's just too bad that he's dead. I mean, God, it's like, come on, man. They should have done this a long time ago. So he'd been on his own team. That's he wasn't trying to throw games or anything.
Well, how do
the guys
hold on.
The guys who did the steroids cheated more than Pete Rose did.
Hold on. We don't know that for sure. That's my thing. Like, everyone says that, but we don't know that. We don't know 100% for sure if he didn't bet on his team to lose. Or he did. We don't know that. That's what he said. He's also a habitual liar, is Pete Rose. Habitual liar. He's lied his entire life.
Okay, so you're saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame?
I don't.
Or are you just being the devil's advocate?
No, I'm a little bit of both. It's one of these fence things with this, but I mean, his resume speaks for itself. But he lied, and he lied consistently about it all the time. That he didn't bet on baseball. Remember, I didn't bet on baseball. I didn't do that, and then he lied about it. I didn't bet on my team. Then he lied about that. Like, he lied all the time. And so when people say, well, he didn't bet on them to lose, I would bet that he did, because he was the manager of the team. It's the integrity of the fucking sport. He was betting on it. And it doesn't matter.
Can you separate that? Can you separate that from Pete Rose, the player? I'm old enough to have seen Pete Rose, the player. The player should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, and now listen, there are a lot of despicable people in the Hall of Fame. So yes, of course I can say that. He's a 17-time All-Star. He's a Rookie of the Year. He's a 3-time batting champion. He's a World Series MVP. I don't know what these guys are going to do. He's not on the regular ballot, by the way. He's not on that. He's on that.
I didn't follow the story. Why did Manfred lift the ban?
Because he's basically he's passed away, and seems to be a lot of pressure. Hold on. There seems to be a lot of pressure from the president.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That caused it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, whatever.
I'm just telling him. He's got to go to a 10-person committee now, and then that's the historical committee, and then that committee then selects 8 ballots, and then it goes on to the Hall's board, and then the ballot is considered by 16 members at the winter meetings, and then he's got to get 75% or higher. I don't think these guys are going to vote him in. So I think it's just to continue to still be a debate. But.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that just came out of the blue. I didn't have any idea that was going to come up, and no, it surprised me, that decision for sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll cut you loose a little early. Enjoy the rest of your day. Your TVs are being installed today, so have fun with that.
Okay, Puck. Thanks, man. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. There he is, Jim Moore, the go-to guy with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all brought to you by A Clean Streak. As I mentioned, a little shortened show today. We got to be out of here by 11 o'clock. Before, though, we transition to hear a little bit from Ryan Divish, we do have got to update you on Puck the Picker Majors Pool, which, of course, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Puck the Picker Majors Pool is back, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest.com. Tired of that muddy backyard? Look at this beautiful backyard. Look how pretty it looks with that 3-hole putting green. Tired of the cost of watering your lawn? Synthetic Turf Northwest is pet friendly. They do synthetic lawn installation, custom turf installation, and with golf here, give you a golf green installation as well. Sign up today, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. All right, Puck the Picker Majors Pool again back for the PGA Championship. Get your picks in tonight before the start of it coming up tomorrow. It's Quail Hollow. Every major, you pick 2 golfers. Lowest score to par. Must pick 2 new golfers for every major. No repeat picks. Lowest cube score is the winner. Now, so if you missed the Masters, you can play in the PGA Championship and then play in the U.S. Open and then play in the Open Championship. You're just going to be behind the 8 ball to those who played in the Masters. If you participate in the Masters, again, 2 new golfers. Can't use the same ones. Prize package, first place, stay and play package there to Gamble Sands. Beautiful Gamble Sands. 2 rounds of golf, and you're staying at the Gamble Sands Resort. Second place, a foursome to Fairwood Golf and Country Club, where this guy grew up on working. All right, picking balls, cleaning clubs, caddying. Third place, foursome at Mill Creek Country Club. And fourth place is a foursome at one of Troon's Seattle Premier Golf Courses and an hour top tracer range session at either Inter Bay Jackson or Bill Wright, which is formerly Jefferson. Again, Puck the Picker Majors Pool, all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Do it today. Get rid of the mud and the rain and all the issues with your backyard. No more watering, no more mowing your lawn. Easy, pet-friendly, great synthetic turf custom installation. You can also add a putting green like I did in my backyard. It's the single best move our family has ever made. To sign up, by the way, for Puck the Picker Majors Pool, go to pucksports.com. All right, we transition over to baseball. We caught up with him earlier today from the Valley Furniture Store. Our weekly visit with our MLB Insider, Ryan Divish. This is the full show. We're unlocking it, a full show for everyone today here on the live daily puck drop. Now, we recorded it early this morning. We do briefly touch on Bryce Miller, so this was before the news on Bryce Miller going to the IL. It is time for our MLB Insider, Ryan Divish. There he is in the Valley Furniture Store. It's brought to you by his weekly appearance talking all things Mariners baseball, Chalet Bowl, Washington's oldest operating bowling alley, proudly serving the community since 1941. They are located in Tacoma's historic Proctor District. They've been family owned and operated for over 40 years, delivering top-notch customer service and a unique 12-lane experience. Check them out, chaletbowl.com. Book your next reservation. Experience the best in local fun. Mr. Ryan Divish joins me from the Limback Lumber Studios. He's at Valley Furniture, and of course brought to you by Chalet Bowl. Shout out to Reggie, my guy Reggie Frederick. All right, there he is. How are you, sir? The store's open. We don't see anybody in there right now. What's the hot item? What's the hot item for sale at Valley Furniture right now? What are we going to deal on anything?
We have spring flooring, flooring as well. So if you want to get some laminate flooring or some, that good laminate that for you would need, the hardwood, but it's kind of, or it's like, it looks like a hardwood, but it's kind of almost rubberized because it helps prevent, it works great for dogs.
Our hardwoods are ruined.
Kids that track in mud, like cleats, they don't take their cleats off or they're covered in dirt.
Do you have a camera in my house?
Yeah. Well, I deal with the same thing as well. So,
Hey, could you go through the garage, please? And just take them off down there. Is there any chance you could do that?
Well, yeah, at least there it's mostly the rubber particles from playing on turf a lot.
Yes.
Here we have that red dirt, the scorio, the red dirt. So when Tyson comes home from a game or even practice, it looks like a scene out of my cousin Vinny when he falls in the mud. And literally at times, I think Cindy has taken his baseball pants to the car wash and used the pressure washer on the car wash to try and get them out.
You can't clean them.
Yeah.
You can't clean them.
And it was like the other day we play or practice, it was 85. And the poor kid sweats like Patrick Ewing, so he slid. Yeah.
You're so right. No one sweated more than Patrick Ewing. No one.
Pretty gross. Although I might throw Floyd Pork Chop Womack out there.
Yeah, okay.
He was one of the smelliest individuals ever after post game. You go over that corner by the offensive line, and I remember Dave Bowling you always got to go over that corner. That's where you get all the best quotes, And I'm going, yeah right, whatever, because he's a former offensive lineman. You go over there. And the last thing I need to do is see Pork Chop Womack naked, standing there air drying with all the stretch marks and glee. It's
you're terrible. You're terrible. Well, hey, let's get a quick update on the Havre North Stars before we go to Mariners. We had a tournament this past weekend. Was it the Miles City Mavericks?
Yeah, it wasn't a tournament. It's just a doubleheader.
Okay, double dip with the Miles City Mavericks. How'd we do?
We split. We lost the first game and came back, won the second one. Probably should have won the first game. We were playing pretty shorthanded. Tyson, my stepson, and 4 other kids were gone for track.
Okay.
And so we didn't have them, including our starting center fielder and our starting right fielder. So we were missing 3 starters, possibly a 4th. So that was kind of a problem. But, actually we should have won. We were had some pitching issues in the first game, and also this windstorm came through in the same inning where kid was struggling, and then this windstorm blows through, and I'm not shitting you, it was blowing like 35 to 40 miles an hour, and they had the dust devils you see in Western Washington or Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Umpire wouldn't call it. He just left us to stay out there and play. Kids' hats are flying off. I'm looking at him I kept putting my arms up hey, you can pull us off the field because it was going to blow through.
Yeah.
So, our pitcher who was struggling, when he did give up contact, a couple of fly balls they hit, it was like,
you can't get it.
Yeah. And so I was just, and then of course we finally get out of that inning after, about 11 runs, I think, in an inning. We get out of the inning, and the wind magically stops while we're at the break. It's
perfect for we had a game just like that.
And I'm like,
exactly the same way.
And I'm just well, that's another thing. So our one pitcher who struggled, he hit 6 kids.
Oh.
He's throwing 62, and he hit them with, and then what was going on is Miles City, they got the bases loaded. They're down 6 or 7 runs or 8 runs when that inning started. So the bases got loaded. So they're just wearing inside curveballs, and, fastballs are just taking them. They're hanging out over the plate. So the umpire comes up to me and he says, I just going to let you know that if he hits some more guys, he's just hitting too many guys and I'm going to have to throw him out. I go, why? He's not doing it on purpose. It doesn't matter. It's a safety thing. I said, show me that's in the rule book. He goes, oh, it's my judgment. I go, your judgment's off. And so then we hit a guy finally, and the guy goes, that's a warning. Next batter, you're ejected. I looked at my assistant coach, Ben, and I said, look, if they toss him, I'm going with him, and it's going to be a show. And he's like, damn it, I have the next game in the pool. Don't do it. I'm going to get tossed out first. So
is this on Game Changer? Can I follow the team on Game Changer?
Yes,
video. Can I get video?
Yeah.
Okay. hold on. I'm going to download it now to my phone. I'm going to put myself as a family member so I can get everything. All right. I want the full meal deal. I want to start watching this stuff.
Yeah.
This is my entertainment on a Friday night. I'm going to watch the Havre North Stars.
So, so that was interesting.
All right. It was a great game last night. They needed it. And Bryan Woo just continues to be terrific for this baseball team. We've always seen the talent with Bryan Woo, and it's always been there. It's just always been about health and longevity, being able to work later in games. And I didn't think that if you told me before the season started that he would be the best pitcher in the staff, I'd be like, oh, okay, that surprises me a little. That surprises me. But here's what I love about Bryan Woo, because to me, he's a throwback. And what I mean is that it's fastball. It's like fastball location. And that's kind of all he throws. And it's just a reminder. I know that's not all he throws, but it's the majority of what he throws, Divish. And it's a throwback because it just reminds you that no matter how much stuff you have, right? Bryce Miller and Logan Gilbert and all these guys, they always talk about, and Kirby, how many pitches they had and they develop in the offseason. There's one pitch that still plays. It will always play. And it, from all levels of baseball, is just the fastball. And Bryan Woo is the walking case of that right now.
Yeah, properly, they like to call it the heater, a properly placed heater. I mean, you have your idea of heaters are Marlboro Reds.
That was a long time ago.
But a properly placed heater is still the most effective pitch in baseball, because even if like they do make contact, it's usually weak contact. And I think that's the thing. Like with Woo, though, it's different. It's not just that he throws fastballs; it's the arm slot. I know Angie was talking about it last night on the broadcast. Like the arm slot is like 4'10" or something. Like he comes out so low, and there's just something rhythmic about it. You know how he does the deep
He
breath,
does that, and then the little thing with his hand he does.
Yeah, and he sets his hands, and then his heel goes up, and then there's a little rhythm. I bet you. I mean, like. Don't sell out on us Asians as being good dancers, because we are good dancers. I mean, we're underrated dancers.
Really?
I bet you he's a good dancer because he's got really good rhythm. Like everything is smooth.
It's always repeatable.
And that's I mean, like if you had a kid, like you're looking at mechanics for a pitcher, you're obviously not showing a Matt Brash. No. Andres Munoz, who almost does a cartwheel every time he pitches. You're showing them Bryan Woo because it's under control.
Yes.
It's stable.
Yep.
He's into his legs. But yeah, so like that rhythm, and so it's such a nice, slow, deliberate rhythm. And all of a sudden it's on you. And because his fastball is released so low, it's hard to pick up. And then it's got a ton of spin on it, so it just carries on you. So even when it's 95 and not 98, like it just gets on hitters. They don't like it. And the 2 times he struggled this year is where he just didn't have proper command of the fastball. You know, his breaking stuff is better than people think, but it's certainly accentuated by the fact that, like, oh my God, this heater's on me. So when he does snap off a slider and it's spinning that fast, they can't pick it up anyways. And so then they look really terrible. But I mean, he's really saved them in a season where Logan Gilbert and George Kirby are on the IL, and Bryce Miller is got issues. I mean, and Castillo is starting to age a little bit. Like, he has saved them. I mean, he
100%.
You know, winning their starts, going out and beating Max Fried, and also credit to the offense. While they didn't do a lot against Max Fried, they drove his pitch count up and made him work. I mean, Donovan Solano's greatest contribution thus far is 11 pitch strikeout. But you know, but that's how you win games. And that was, like, I wouldn't say it's must win, but given the situation they're in and the stretch of games that they're in, like winning that game last night, you know, was pretty big for them.
Well, they needed it though. I'm with you. Obviously not a must win. Nothing is a must win at this point. But you're scuffling and you've lost 4 straight. You've come home after this great road trip, and you just needed something to make sure to pause the panic button, because the panic is out there for people, because there's a good segment of the fan base, and I get it, that's waiting for that shoe to drop on them.
Yeah, I don't know if they enjoy it or they just, you know, and there's, you know, some Stockholm syndrome to it probably from years and years, but like we've talked about, the games all count the same, and you know, it's early stuff, but it's how you're playing in the moment that is important. You know, like if you drop a game but you played really well or whatever, like you'll feel okay. But like these last 5 games going into it where you're getting your asses handed to you and giving up a ton of runs and you're not doing much offensively, like that's you need to change that. So it's like, it's not a must win in the overall, you know, the win counts all the same, but it goes to the 50 and 50. Every team's going to win 50. Every team's going to lose 50. These games can go into that, but it's how you're playing. It's how you get to the result that truly matters, because that's what carries you into winning games that you shouldn't as well.
He's just a great story too. Yeah. And just because, like, I have my wife, her coworker for the longest time, his son played with him at Cal Poly. So I've known, I mean, even before the Mariners took him, I knew about him just because they were friends. But his story of he wasn't that good. No. That's the thing. He wasn't even good. And I can't remember I can't remember the exact year. When did he transition to a pitcher?
So I think after his freshman year, he went more full-time pitcher. But he went to Cal Poly because most people were recruiting him as a shortstop, and he thought he was better off as a pitcher.
Yeah.
And you know, so he went to Cal Poly with the idea he was going to pitch. I think he did hit a little bit, but he was transitioning, and that's, I think, part of the reason why he had the elbow issues is because this wasn't built up, you know.
Sure.
But the one thing is like when you haven't pitched your whole career and you kind of transition full time, you're as athletic as he is, because that dude's got some legs on it.
Yeah.
Like you can, you build up the mechanics the right way, you train your body the right way, all that kind of stuff. Adam Jude wrote a really good story talking about it, though, that when they were scouting all these pitchers and stuff, and they had this video on Bryan Woo and all this stuff, and they're looking at all the StatCast metrics and all the Rapsodo metrics and stuff, and arm slot and everything. Trent Blank, who's the pitching coordinator, said, "Look, I take this kid 1-1 right now. Like, I would take him in the first round. They took him in the 5th or whatever." He goes, "He's the best pitcher that we can find. Like based on everything we're looking at.
Wow.
I think he's like 1-1 of talent and
That's crazy
potential." And the Mariners took him in the 5th round.
That's just amazing for Trent to look at that stuff and to get past the numbers, right? Because you can get kind of blinded by what his ERA was, because it was not good.
No,
he just wasn't good. And I wonder how much of him growing up, right? Because listen, I mean, a lot of pitchers, little league all the way through, usually the better players on the team that probably play shortstop, but him playing shortstop for as long as he did, you talked about his arm slot. I just wonder how much of where he releases it because he played shortstop now has benefited him being a pitcher right now.
I would think so. I mean, you remember when Paxton was so over the top, and this Lance Painter guy told him when he was down in Tacoma, like, your arm slot's wrong. And they're like, so they rolled him a couple balls like a bunt, and he threw to first. And so that's the arm slot, because it was more 3/4. It wasn't so over the top. It was more natural.
Yeah.
They felt like the more over the top part was leading to injuries as well. So that's kind of how they did it. And I mean, like, I think that's the one thing. Find your natural arm slot and go with it from there. Because not everybody, like, you can't pigeonhole everybody in the same arm slot.
Yeah. Well, and you're right. I want to go back to your point you made earlier. I don't know where they would be without him because of all the injuries. I mean, they'd be a mess.
Yeah, they'd be the
saving grace of the rotation right now.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing is, like, their bullpen is still, a little lacking. With Brash only. I mean, man, he looked amazing last night.
Yeah,
it's like that. I do like that the Mariners are showing the discipline not to use him all the time. They're being disciplined that way. And they gotta build him back. And what's really big is that Jackson Coar and Trevor Gott are starting to throw on rehab assignments. So then, your talent level in your bullpen is starting to kick up a little bit. Because I just think it's really hard sometimes when you were running Trent Thornton as your 8th inning guy. I like Trent, but I just don't think he's that guy. Gabe Speier, though. Ooh.
Well, Speier, but yeah, Thornton's not. He's just not a high leverage guy. Now you've got two great I think we all agree you have two great high leverage, arms down there with Speier and Matt Brash.
Yeah. So then if you bring Gott, if you bring Trevor Gott and Coar back, then all of a sudden your depth gets a little bit better, and then that allows Troy Taylor to kind of figure out his command issues. That he just, if you look, like, I was watching the other night, his slider either misses well out of the zone or it hangs on that half, in the same half. And I mean, like, once once teams can pigeonhole that, like, hey, it's either way missed, or else it's a strike right on the inner half, they'll go out searching for it. When we saw that thing get hit. And he's got really good stuff, but it's just location and just trying to execute and maybe getting out of some of the patterns that you're in as well.
The Brash at bat against Judge, that's like baseball porn right there.
Yeah, and Brash's got that kick changeup that he's throwing, which I like, but you don't fall in love with it because you still got 98 and you got the best slider in baseball.
Yeah, it was and that's all it was, right? 3 straight sliders there to Aaron
Judge. You ever
Judge.
seen how Brash holds his slider?
Mm-mm.
So his fingers are so, and this is great radio, but his fingers are so.
We're not on radio, but that's okay.
Whatever. Yeah. His fingers are so, like, bendy, and like almost double jointed that. He puts his
index on top of the middle finger?
On top of his middle finger a little bit, and then he wides them out, and then his middle finger almost curves a little bit. Like, so I saw pictures of him.
So is he adding more? Hold on. So is he at the index, right? He's on for those listening, okay? He's got his index on top of his middle finger.
Yeah.
Is he pressing down with the index?
Yeah.
Or not? Is he elevating it?
I think no, he's pressing down. It's not like spiked. It's kind of down.
Okay.
And like, I don't know. I mean, you'll have to search it one time, but it's crazy. And then, like, I asked, I think it was one of the other guys, maybe Kirby about it. Kirby's like, well, his fingers aren't normal. How are we supposed to, like, I can't make my hand do that.
Yeah.
So that's it's a wipeout pitch.
You got to get Jude to do a story on it. Matt Brash's fingers.
Well, we did a story on it a long time ago, and they were, I think, kind of making fun of his hands about like how weird his fingers were. But then again, also, he was he's an athletic guy. And that's why, I mean, I hate to credit, because of my college days and my absolute hatred of all pitchers for the most part. I hate to credit with them with being athletes, but the Mariners have some pretty athletic pitchers. Like Brash, and Munoz was a triple jumper in high school, like a nationally ranked triple jumper in high school.
He was? Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Like he was, so like when he was younger.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
They were contemplating, like they wanted to send him, like in Mexico, they do a sports academy.
Yeah.
So he was like one of the top triple jumpers in all of Mexico, but he also threw 94 or something like that. So he didn't know what to do.
Clue.
Like, so he gave up triple jumping, but supposedly there's video of him out there. It's like,
oh, that's
elite
awesome.
level stuff.
Huh.
If you look at him, you don't think triple jump.
No, I would never think triple jumper or triple jump there for Andres Munoz. Yeah, well, that was a great at bat last night. It was just a great game. I mean, overall for that entire pitching staff to do that to that offense, for them to go, I think they were 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position. It was just, it was incredible to watch. Where are we? And it looks like Kirby's coming back soon. I think he makes his final rehab start Friday. So then reinforcements on the way. Gilbert threw a bullpen yesterday. They're going to take it slow with him, but it seems, he's getting closer and closer to coming back. Do you think at all, I mean, would they make the decision now with Bryce Miller? Do you think there's a situation where they could shut Miller down at all, or it hasn't come to that point yet?
No, it hasn't come to that point yet. But what they could do is skip a start, keep him up without putting him in the IO and skip a start and do it that way, especially when George comes back. You could manipulate your roster enough that you could do that. Just have him there, skip a start, look at your off days, and that may be what they're doing anyways. I have looked at the schedule a ton, but, also they got the White Sox coming up. That could be a get right game too, just as easily. So, I mean, I think it doesn't look right coming out, but is it physical? Because like he said, he's dealing with some physical stuff too, like what I think it was his back or whatever. But a lot of times, like, everybody always automatically thinks when the velocity is down 1 to 2 miles an hour, it's an injury. Sometimes, though, if you're out of sync with your mechanics, that will sap you 1 to 2 miles an hour, because, like, the whole idea of staying connected with your body and you're getting the proper release point and, staying behind the ball, if you're off, that will take away the 1 to 2 miles per hour. And, what you find sometimes is, like, if your back is sore, or if your legs are tired, you got a leg issue, that will put your mechanics out of whack to take that part of it out. It's not always arm related. That was one of the things about, like, they talked about with Felix Hernandez when his command went away. It wasn't that his arm was the issue. It was that he wasn't physically strong enough or trained enough to do the goofy windup, with the full tilt and everything like that. He couldn't repeat it anymore. So that's why his command fell apart, is because he didn't have the core strength and the leg strength to do the windup to make that pitch work, or to make his pitches work, to consistently throw the ball where he wanted to. And so maybe that's something that Bryce is dealing with, not necessarily an arm issue, but like if you're physically not in the way you want, you can't do the mechanics the way you want.
What confidence-wise, he seems kind of shot in that department from a mental standpoint, just the way that he kind of addresses everything after every game.
Well, I think for him, it's like you've done all this work in the offseason. You put in so much time. You've built up your repertoire. You've done all this stuff to make yourself an effective big league pitcher. And like so much, I think, coming off of last year, he expected a lot. And then his money pitch, the one pitch that got him to the big leagues and the one pitch he could always fall back upon, hasn't been the same. Some people might wonder if because he's doing all this other stuff, that like the heater, he lost the heater because he's done all this other stuff with all these other pitches. I don't think so, because he was throwing 98 in spring training. I just think, the wear and tear of a lot of innings and everything else, and he's not the biggest guy in the world. Maybe there is some fatigue there that he's going to have to figure out, or if it's something else physical. But I think that will shake your confidence, is when the one pitch you've always relied on in your entire career isn't there, and it isn't, it doesn't feel right, and it's not looking right and all the results tell you it's not right, that shakes your confidence because again, you're trying to trying to go against the best hitters in the world, knowing that your best weapon isn't working all the time. That's a problem.
Yeah, and I wonder if he needs to probably. I talked to Kruger about it this week, and I wonder if he needs to pull back on because on most starts he's talking about how sore his arm is, and maybe just stop talking about it. I don't know. I mean,
well, I figured Kruger would tell you just had to throw more. Well, you got to get up to 180 pitches before you really feel good. You know?
Yeah, that's the Kruger we know and love. Hey, last thing for you. It's a shortened show today. I gotta head to the Mariners game for a Sweet 16 birthday party. Huh? We're gonna surprise our daughter.
Did you get her a car?
Well, she already has a car. Okay. Yeah, she's had a car.
Well, I thought you could only drive at 16.
Yeah. Well, she's had a car. I mean, she's not driving it, but we've already got her a car like a while ago. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Has she snuck it out like me? No.
What kind of car is it?
Like a little Volkswagen Jetta.
Okay. So I figured you go Subaru, something safe, you know.
A little Volkswagen Jet's a cute little thing. You start it, then the heat blasts on for 30 seconds, hot heat, and then it finally shuts down, which is great.
Well, because my sister, her kids they live in Parker, Colorado, which is like Richville.
Yeah.
Like I think Mitch Garver lives in the same development up the hill from my sister. There's a few other pro athletes, and my niece goes to Legends High School, where Jake Heaps will be the head coach of the football team. Oh, nice. Okay. It's a 5A school. My niece's first car is a 16-year-old
Audi
BMW X5.
There you go.
It's used, but I mean, like,
doesn't matter if it's used.
Meanwhile, my sister's driving like a Honda Pilot, you know.
Jesus. This car's got dents in it. The heater turns on.
Because I feel like
it rattles. I'm like, this is what you need.
I need that rite of passage. Like, what wasn't yours?
I had a Toyota. Celica. It was a piece of shit.
Yeah, my first vehicle was my dad's. Like, I took my dad's truck, and it was this big ass Chevy Silverado, and it had a 454. So like, I could burn rubber on it. Like, and then my dad kind of like looked at me, looked at my background, my ethnic heritage, and said, "You're a terrible driver, and we're not going to have a truck with one of the fastest engines in all of Montana."
I love that. All right, quickly, Castillo. Should we be concerned?
No, I don't think so. I do think that like this version of Luis Castillo, I don't think it's going away. I do think his velocity will kick up as the season goes a little bit, 1 to 2, but he's got to learn to pitch when it's not, you know, like when everything's not working. And I really just think the feel for, like, he's just, you know, you look at how he pitches, again, not his mechanics aren't somebody teaching him, kind of slings it. But I think he just has lost feel for his slider at times and his changeup at times. And you have to have your secondary pitches when you know your fastball isn't carrying the way it used to.
Yeah. All right. Have fun today working at the furniture store. Say hello to everybody. Sell something. Let us know the deals. Good luck to the Havre North Stars. What do we got upcoming on the schedule?
We're scrimmaging one of the summer college teams tomorrow night here. It's like they promote, you know, like, and then the Great Falls Voyagers. It's fair because we have our pitcher pitch for them and their pitcher pitches for us.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. It's a good idea.
I'm going to pitch the kid that hit 8 and walked 7 or whatever against our own guys. So a little redemption story there. And then we open conference play on Sunday in Great Falls.
The Great Falls
Chargers.
Stupid name. It's a football name. Come on. Yeah. Come on, Great Falls.
So those are pretty big, and mostly I'll just be sitting at home and cursing the Oklahoma City Thunder every night.
That's right. We need the Nuggets to knock them off. Come on, Denver, pick it up. Let's go, Denver.
Dude,
all right.
Michael Porter's terrible.
He's not good. I don't know what's happened to him. He used to be good, but he's not good anymore. He's falling apart. All right, Divish, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you, sir.
Sounds good, man.
There he is, Ryan Divish, with us every single week. We recorded every morning with Divish before it airs live here. So obviously we missed the Bryce Miller news. We talked about Bryce Miller. Inevitable that was going to happen. Placed on the IL today. 15-day IL. Jonathan Diaz has been recalled. All right, we got a shortened show today because we've got to bail out of here, go to the Mariners game, and we've got to surprise our daughter, Sweet 16. birthday party, which takes us here as we wrap up here early. I apologize. By the way, the Ryan Divish episode available to everyone today. So the full show for you, the Puck's Posse members. Don't yell at me. Don't scream at me. We're still giving you Mitch tomorrow. Still giving you the Sports Pit. We give you everything. But we're going to make the Divish one available to everyone this week. Hey, what the puck? Let's get to that, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It is your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services, locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when these damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com. All right, this is a little different one. Yes, we're celebrating the 16th birthday of my daughter. We call her Beast Mode. Well, there's other nicknames we have for her, but I can't share them publicly or she'll kill me. It's amazing. For all you parents out there that have gone through this, boy, do they grow up fast. And I mean, 16 has happened like that. I remember when she was 4. I wish the golden age was about 8. And 8 years, I wish you could bottle them up and keep them 8 years old for their entire life. But obviously you can't, and it happens fast. And she is just a beautiful representation of everything that the good side of us, and you know what, the bad side of us. But she's the perfect melting pot of myself and my wife, and just so happy for her. It's a big day. You forget these are big days for these kids, man. You forget about it, but 16 and 18, and they happen fast, right? 16, 18, 21. And the next one's like 30. And then you're like, all right, what's after 50? So it's a special day. And just this leading up to that for the last weeks, months, it just makes me remember that kid again of how I felt turning 16, and now to watch it for the first time with your daughter and just see where you go from just this baby to this little kid now to teenager, young woman. So it's been a beautiful thing to watch. And we're taking her to a baseball game today. She loves baseball, grew up in a baseball family. So it's one of those things that she just loves. So we're going to surprise her today, go pick her up from school early. Yeah, we got to take the vampire too. So we're going to pick him up too. And he knows, by the way, he's like, oh, sweet. I know. What are we going to do for a birthday? Little brother doesn't want to do anything. I'm like, well, we're going to take her to the baseball game. What time's game at? 1:00. Sweet. I get out of school. That's all he cares about. So for everyone out there, all these parents who've gone through it, will go through it. Special day for not only your son or daughter turning 16, but also for you as well. You just hope that they learn from you, and you hope you've done the best you can for them as they continue to get older. And it's kind of a little bit sad because now I think about, you got 2 more years with them really before they kind of go out on their own. So happy birthday to my beautiful daughter, Mari. All right, that is Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services. 206-817-8917, or email them or visit the website restoration1.com, North Seattle franchise. Thank you for watching today, listening on the Daily Puck Drops up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, leave comments up there on YouTube. Also, the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter which one. It's all available there. Of course, you can always visit pucksports.com. When you're at pucksports.com, you get the Puck to Picker Majors Golf Pool, all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Also, you got the Puck's Posse up there as well. Sign up just $5 a month. Get a discount for sign up for a year there at pucksports.com. Reminder, our weekly starts next week officially, or tomorrow officially, with Mitchie the Kid, Mitch Levy. That will be for Puck's Posse members. We also got the Sports Pit with Steve Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson. That episode is out. New episodes every single Monday. And of course, now Puck Sports producing the Garage with Gas Take 5 podcast, which comes out on Mondays as well. You can find that on all your favorite podcast platforms and YouTube, and of course up at pucksports.com. Everybody, thank you for watching and listening. Sorry for the abbreviated show, but I'm sure you all understand. We'll talk to you tomorrow as always. Promise to be better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rob you. But you rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!